times a day do you hear that word? How many times do you say it? I'd like you to count for me for one day. Listen to the conversations of others. Notice when you're about to say it, and then don't, because you're trying not to. Fact. We hear it so often, it just stops registering for everyone, right? Every time I hear that word, I stop. I glance around. Me? Are they talking about me? Who said it? My heart turns to ice as it falls to the pit of my padded stomach, a reaction that is now automatic, perfected by over a decade of practice. You see, in grade 5, my body began to change. And with that physical change came a realization of self. The realization that myself took up more space than my classmates around me. A realization that was brought to me on a wave of taunts and name-calling. Words that dug up the ground of my self-confidence and my self-esteem before I was even old enough to try and build a foundation upon it. Fact. 3 innocent letters. F, A, T, and yet, when strung together, they create a word that holds power. And you better believe that words hold power, because unlike sticks and stones, they leave scars no one else can see. Fast forward to an 18-year-old girl on the brink of adulthood, just waiting to finish her senior year of high school. A varsity athlete, an honor student, recently admitted to one of the top universities in the country. She has every reason to feel on top of the world, and yet, as she walks through the halls after her 6th period class, she heard moo, she heard cow, she heard heifer, she heard bet, and even for every amazing thing that she had ahead of her, she went home and she cried, hot tears leaving streaks down her face, streaks she can later cover up with a mask of makeup and smiles. But what about the tears to her soul, words doing their damage, ripping rivers wide, deep water dark and menacing, trapping her on her own little island, teetering and tottering, struggling not to fall into the waters of her own personal hell. And as she stands on that island, a purgatory in and of itself, she can see the shore. She can see it. Self-acceptance. Self-love. But she doesn't know how to reach it. Now in college, she starts to lose some of the weight. But as the pounds fall off, the demons in her head grip tighter, a vice around her brain, the water lapping ever nearer her feet. Don't eat that, they whisper. Run farther, go longer, take 2 fingers and shove them down your throat, they yell fat. They have created a woman who can't be intimate because she's so disgusted by what she sees in the mirror. She can't even begin to imagine a world where he would truly find her beautiful. Demons becoming so strong that they are harder and harder to hide. The mask is cracking, and as she fixes one break, 2 more spring out, the water rushing and rising to overwhelm her. Fact. This is not the story of a woman who has found acceptance with herself. To the women who have, I both envy you and aspire to be you. You have reached that shore that I am so desperately fighting to reach. But know this is a message to the women like me. A message to remind you that you're not alone in your fight, and that it's okay to ask for help. Fact. F-A-T-F. F is for fuck society and its unrealistic and unattainable beauty ideals. A is for abolish any judgment you have ever made about a person based on their appearance, be it the size of their waist, the color of their skin, the texture of their hair, or the age or the gender. And T? T is for tomorrow. To every person across this campus, across this country, across this globe, who spend every moment of the day fighting the demons in here and working to make peace with themselves out here, waiting and wondering if this day, if this fight will ever end, if they will ever reach that shore. T is for tomorrow. Because the day will end and tomorrow will come. That is fucking worth fighting for. So, as a final thought, I'd like to leave you with a question. Now you tell me, did you notice? How many times did I say that word?